All right, so God has convinced me, urged me to start doing this again. So hopefully I will continue on a continual basis more, what you call it? Like more times. I don't know. I can't think of what I want to say, right? It has been so long, like when I did these videos, but I feel like God is telling me to do them and actually put them on YouTube this time, which I have put off actually since I moved to Charlotte. I feel like he's kind of been telling me that, and I didn't want to do it. So here's video number 1, because today in church I really felt like he was encouraging me to do this, right? So I normally do it in my car because that is the easiest for me. Something to hold my camera, whatever. I'm just not into all this tech and all this stuff and whatever. So say all that to say, today in church, this is what I'll talk about. So the pastor on today was our youth pastor, and this had nothing to do with what he was talking about, but this is just what I felt that I heard, I believe God say to me. So he was talking one part where he was like how he was in the hospital when his wife had their first child, and he mentioned like this green chair that he had to sit in and how it was not comfortable, and sleep in. It was not comfortable, right? As soon as he said that, I felt like God saying there are things where it's not supposed to be comfortable, because if it's comfortable, us being in the flesh, in our humanness, like we want to stay in those things because we want comfort, right? We gravitate towards comfort. We love comfort, no matter what it is, right? Comfort food, comfort people, comfort places, like we love those, right? So when he said that, I was like, wow, there's places where we're not supposed to be comfortable. There's people we're not supposed to be comfortable with. There's jobs we're not supposed to be comfortable with, right? I can remember a long time ago, me working at McDonald's, like when I was a teenager, right? That was one of my first few jobs. And I loved it. Like I had so much fun. Like we just had fun. Like this was back in the 90s, right? And it just was like fun, like the early 90s. Like it just was so much fun. Like the people I worked with, right, towards the about mid 90s anyways. And it was just fun, but I could never get promoted. Like I think they had like a trainer or something. It was like, I think that was like the next step, right? Like so you're like a regular employee, and then it was like a trainer, and then manager and all this stuff, right? I could never get promoted to trainer. Never, ever. And it made me so mad. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I work so hard. I'm quick, I'm fast, I'm good with the customers. Like, what am I doing wrong? And when he said what he said today, it reminded me of that, right? Because God always brings me back to McDonald's. It wasn't supposed to be comfortable, right? And I wasn't supposed to get moved up, right? Because when I didn't get moved up, that made it not comfortable, right? Because I wasn't supposed to stay there, right? And that happens when we're in those jobs or we're in those relationships or whatever it is. Those places that are not comfortable, it's supposed to be that way because we're not supposed to stay there, right? And the only way that God, I say forces. I use the word force, but I know people will come back. This is the thing that scares me the most about doing these and putting it on YouTube. Everybody's opinion, everybody's thoughts, everybody's words that they have to say, right? Because I don't need to hear them, don't want to hear them, okay? Because I'm human just like you, and I'm not going to necessarily always say the right thing at the right time. And I may say something and you take it the wrong way, and that's not even how I meant it. So yeah, that does freak me out a little bit. But what I was going to say is God forces. I know God doesn't force anything on us, so I'm using that word for lack of a better word, okay? But he like forces us to be uncomfortable so that we don't stay there. Because like I said, we like those comfortable places, right? But when he doesn't want us to stay there, he's going to make things uncomfortable, right? Things can happen. Things can, just all kinds of things. Like the job I'm at right now, I'm not supposed to stay there. And so I really loved it. I enjoyed it at first. And now it's not so much because of things happened. And I will talk about those in a video whenever I leave that place, right? So, But yeah, things have happened, so it's not comfortable. I don't even like going in every day. Like, that's just being 100% honest, truthful, right? But if God had kept it so like it was comfortable and I loved it, I would never move out and do the things that he's been telling me to move out and do now, right? So bottom line, if it's uncomfortable right now, that's the way it's supposed to be, because you're not supposed to stay there. Now, obviously, if this is speaking to you, if it's hitting your spirit, great, then that's God talking to you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that today or tomorrow he's going to move you to wherever he wants you, right? Sometimes he makes us sit in that uncomfortableness, right? And I don't have the answer for that. And we don't have to have the answers to everything all the time, because we don't, right? So anyways, if you're in an uncomfortable spot, that's where you're supposed to be, because ultimately, wherever it is, whether it's a job, whether it's maybe a home, whether it's a city you live in, whether it's a relationship you're in, you're not supposed to stay there. That's why it's uncomfortable, right? Now, obviously, there could be a plethora of other reasons why it's uncomfortable, right? But what that pastor said today is about that chair in the hospital, how it was uncomfortable. It's because he's not supposed to stay there. He's supposed to take his baby and go home. That's why. Obviously, they can make things a little bit more comfortable, but let's just go with it, okay? So, if it's uncomfortable, it's fine. Sit in that uncomfortableness, because that's where you're supposed to be. Ask God where he wants to take you, where he wants to do with you. Because obviously, if he has you in that uncomfortableness, it's because, one, he doesn't want you to stay there, okay? He may have many other reasons, but it's because he doesn't want you to stay there. He wants you to do something else. He wants you to go somewhere else. He wants you to take another job, right? Anyways, I thought it was so good. I thought I would share. I literally went down, not really went down. I walked over 2 steps and got prayer today. And I could feel him telling me to do these videos again. Do these videos again. I swear, I think he said it like 3 times. That's what come to my mind when the lady was praying for me. That's what came to my mind, was him telling me like these videos. I don't know why, because there's a lot of reasons why I don't want to do it, just like I've said. But anyways, I wanted to keep this first one short and sweet. So, but to hit the 8-minute mark, so I'm about to cut it off. But literally, if you're in that uncomfortable position, it's okay, because that's where you're supposed to be. Go to God, ask him where he wants you to go, or what he wants you to do next, right? First one done. Yay! So we'll go on to the other ones, and we'll see what happens. I guess God just has to continuously keep speaking to me for me to keep doing these. But I was like, God, I got it. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it. Because I put it off. I think I've almost been in Charlotte now like 3 years. I was like, I'm not doing these. I'm dumb. That's dumb. You know, like, not that it's dumb, because it's always helped people, and I'm going over, I know. But I just, several reasons why I didn't want to. But sometimes, like when I did them before, it was because I had this little girl. I was trying to adopt her, and I had her for a few years, and then they ended up, meaning the judge, the court system, all that, gave her back to her mother. And that was like one of the hardest things ever for me. And that's when I started doing these videos. I started reading through the Bible and just like sharing with what God was speaking to me. Mostly it was for myself, right? I don't even think it was in my head for it to be like for other people. But I only shared it with my Facebook friends, and everybody, you know, that watched it, not everybody, I'm sorry, I hate to use absolutes, people here and there would be like, oh, that was so good, why did you quit? Oh, that was so good, why did you quit? Right? And literally one of them actually texted me the other day, and I was like, okay, God, okay. But it wasn't until I got into church today, and literally the lady was praying for me, and I don't know, whatever she said, but then it popped in my head. Because she was saying, like, I think she was saying, like, God will tell her what she needs to do next, or something in that realm, right? Because I'm like, God, I've done everything that you have asked me to do to move into the next spot, right? And it was, do the videos. So here I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do them again. I'm stepping out on a massive cliff, not even a ledge, because I don't like it. I like to be private. As far as myself, I don't like sharing things out in the world. And who knows where God is about to take me. I have ideas in my head, but who knows, right? Who really knows? So yeah, so here's video number 1. A little bit of craziness, you know, mixed in there, but bottom line is, once again, is if God has you in that uncomfortable spot, it's because you're not supposed to stay there. So go to God, ask him what he wants to do, and move. All right, I hope I said something, you know, that resonated with you guys in this video. Like I said, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. You know the kind of backstory now, so you guys can hold me accountable as to, you know, why I'm not doing the videos again. I'm not saying I'm gonna do them every day like I did before, because woo, the pressure, right? Can you imagine pastors, the pressure they feel to have a word to give everybody every Sunday? And then if they do the Bible study throughout the week, or if they, you know, go preach somewhere else or whatever, the pressure, it's rough. So anyways, all right, first video down, yay. I'm gonna clap for myself. Yeah, first video down, and I will try to continue to do these. Like I said, I always say, or I used to say, anything that I say, go to God with it, ask God about it, because that's the check, right? Because once again, I'm human. I can make mistakes. I can mess up a name in scripture or something like that, or whatever I'm talking about may not be for you, right? But you feel it, like in your body, like you can feel it, like in your soul, in your spirit, like you can feel it when God is speaking to you through these, right? So, but I always encourage you, stay in the word for yourself, read the word for yourself, and go to God for yourself, right? Because there's too many people out doing these things, and there's some craziness out there. That's all I'm saying. And but yeah, okay, I'm gonna finish. Yeah, just pray for me, because I don't really want to do this anymore. I say it like that, but it's just like, I don't want to be out there like God is telling me to be out there, like I for many reasons. So say a little prayer for me, and I hope you got something out of this. Like I said, this is the first one. It's a little bit of craziness, but yeah, I'll be seeing you again. Oh, and what I was gonna say is, not only read the Bible, go to God for yourself and all that, if it did help you, if the videos in the future do help you, then go ahead and feel free to share them, because I'm going to start making them public. Ugh. I don't like that, but whatever. I'm doing what God said. So there's absolutely nothing I haven't done at this point now that God has told me to do. So now it's time for God to move. I'm done moving. I'm doing everything he said now, literally. So now it's completely up to him, right? All right. I love y'all. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. And that in this crazy little video, there was something that, you know, spoke to you guys. We're going to make it with God on our side. All right. Have a great week. Peace. Love y'all.